Hey guys, so today I'm going to teach you guys how to make smoke filters. In order to make smoke filters, you will need a type of potassium nitrate, sugar, and some wick. You can either buy the wick from a store or you can make it yourself. To make it yourself, it's simple. We will be using a lighter, one or more candles, and some string. Please let the string be cotton or wool. Now, because we are using a lighter, using the fire from the lighter, please have an adult with you at all times. Alfred the turtle, he recommends using Spectracide stump remover as potassium nitrate. First, light the candles. Then leave the candles out from 10 to 15 minutes, watching them so they don't catch anything on fire. Make sure there's a little puddle of wax left. Then blow the candles out. Quickly, before the wax hardens, and carefully so you don't hurt yourself, dip about an inch of string into the wax and then remove it. Do that about as many times as you are hoping that you have smoke bombs. So if you're going to make 7 smoke bombs, make 7 inches of wax. Now, while that wax is melting, we're going to talk about the potassium nitrate and the sugar. Now, depending on depending on how many smoke bombs you want to create, there's a ratio. What you want is a 5:3 potassium nitrate to sugar ratio. That means if you're going to use 5 cups of potassium nitrate, you're going to use 3 cups of sugar. Now, if you use more sugar than that, it's going to burn more slowly and be harder to ignite. If you use less sugar than that, it's going to burn faster and it's going to be a lot more flammable. Now, how you're going to buy the potassium nitrate is you can buy it straight, but I'm going to buy it in stump remover. And I use, it's backwards right now, Spectracide stump remover. And this has potassium nitrate in it. It's high in potassium. And fertilizer also has potassium nitrate. But potassium nitrate is used in bombs, and that's why you have to be careful when using this. Don't put this near your lighter, don't put this near a fireplace, not even near anything. Don't put this potassium nitrate near any source of heat or fire until it's already in the smoke bomb. When it's in the smoke bomb, it's safer than it being straight. Now, with the stump remover comes responsibility. Don't open the cap and spray it everywhere. Don't point it at your friend. This is very toxic. Very, very toxic. Eating this would not be good for you at all. You would probably die, I think. I don't know, I've never eaten it. This one, it's kind of small. This is a 16-ounce bottle. It doesn't have that much. I made one batch before, and I only have like this much left, so like half the bottle left. Not a lot comes in it. They're about $7 to $10 depending where you get it. If you're going to be making like a lot of smoke bombs, get a bigger one if you can. This is just a small one. I was broke at the time. Just a small one. As for the sugar, you can just use any household sugar. You could probably use like Truvia if you really wanted to. As long as it melts into a caramel kind of mixture, then it's good. Now, when it's on the pan, make sure you don't leave it there too long and stirring it too much because it will burn and that will ruin it. So, let's go see if our wax is done. Hey, so I just checked on my wax. It was all melted in a puddle. Now, depending on what kind of candle you have, you might have to wait a little bit for a big enough puddle to appear. And just remember, the amount that the string is actually soaking up is very little. I had about like a centimeter puddle high, and it was about less than an inch in diameter. It worked out great. I have about, this was my string in the one, and then because I had 2 candles, I got another one out of it, and it was this isn't the one. It was about this long. So it was great. I will create so much wax you wouldn't believe. So, these wax things, what you're going to do is you're going to have your candle. And of course it's going to be lit. You're going to blow it out, and there's going to be the little puddle in there. Don't flip it upside down. Don't stick your finger in it. It is burning hot. Just don't do it. You're going to like cry. I mean, if you really want to. What you're going to do is I used a plastic fork, so I can just throw this away afterward or really clean it off if I really wanted to. You just really need the end for this, or really any type of stick you want to use. What you're going to do with your string is you're going to wrap it around your pinky finger, or wrap it around your index finger, so the one you point with. Now, it doesn't matter what hand, just do whatever. Wrap it around your finger. You don't need a lot, and it doesn't have to be tight. Now, just roll it off your finger, just so it creates somewhat a loop. Doesn't have to. And there's a little tiny wick in there. You can put that loop around it, whatever. Just drop it in there. So we're going to drop ours in there. Now, when you're dropping it in there, don't stick your finger in it. Use the stick to rearrange it. Put it where it needs to be. So mine just fell out because I'm tipping it upside down. So put that in there. And then it's going to soak up the wax. Now, like I said, it does harden quickly if it's cold out. If it's like a pretty good degree day, you should have about 2 minutes before it kind of hardens, but just do it quickly. It's better that way. Don't run into the other room to go get something. Just do it quickly. It's not lengthy and it's not going to kill anybody, hopefully. Now, while it's in there, it's going to be soaking up the wax. Kind of just poke it around. You'll see it. If it's like a colored candle like this one, it's green. You'll see it kind of turn green as this one did. Turns green because it has the wax in it. And then that's good. And then you can just take it out, and you can, doesn't matter what shape it's in, you could just kind of like leave it like that and wherever. Don't hold it in your hand. There's hot wax in it. Once again, don't stick your finger in the wax, so don't put the hot wax on your hand. It's kind of obvious. So then you have your wick, and you're just going to let that dry, and when it dries, it dries. Now, you guys saw me kind of bending this one. It's not going to break. It's string. It just has a coating of wax. And so what we're going to do is you're going to cut it into inch pieces. Now, this is my first time ever, like, making this kind, so I just tested it out. And I do not advise you to do this until you are actually lighting it outside. I'm doing this with my parents' permission. Probably gonna shuffle arms. And it lights. Doesn't have to stay there forever, but it lights. And it goes down very, very quickly. So that's great. It's kind of like a match. Real simple. Real simple. Blech. So that's it for the wick. And let's get to the cooking. Now, with the cooking part, this part is real simple, but you have to be careful. Like I said before, using this potassium nitrate, it is very flammable. So do not whatsoever get it into the stove. Your stove will blow up. And don't try it either. So much trouble. Anyway, so what I'm doing is what I usually do. Like I said, this is a 16 ounce. A cup is like 8 ounces. So I do 1.5 cups of potassium nitrate and then 1 cup sugar. And that should be a 5-to-3 ratio if I did my math correctly. And that just means it's going to burn pretty quickly, but not too quickly. I will note that you can color your smoke bomb, but I haven't been able to do that. I don't know why it's not working, but maybe I used the wrong dye. Yeah, I don't know. It will come out white by default, though. So as I was saying, before you make this, do have some sort of mold ready, or if you're like me the first time, you're just trying this out, have a tin sheet, something that's easy to peel off, and if it sticks on, it's not super dangerous. It's not like you need it back. So take a tin foil sheet and just place it on there. I will say, when you're making smoke, I'm just going to say smoke sparkles. That's good. you want some sort of mold. Because if you're going to put the wick in, it's just kind of throw it into the mold and it's easier. So the mold that I do is I do a little mold. And I made this. I had a tube. It's about an inch diameter. You can really use any tube. This one was just smaller, had thick siding, so I was like, oh, perfect. Found it in my garage. So you take the tin foil and you cut out a small square. I have a small square of tin foil. Then you take the tube. It's about 3/4 an inch thick. Doesn't really matter. I'm just making it big enough so I can pour enough in. Because I will be having a lot, I think. I have a lot poured out. It's basically like 2 cups of liquid, which is going to fill a lot of these. So what you do is you have this and you just place it onto the back and you fold it over. So you're kind of like coating it. Now when I make this mold is also burning, I want to say burning with the smoke bomb if I can't get it out, so it doesn't really matter. That's why I use wooden, something that can burn, and tin foil. Oh my god, aluminum just disappears in fire, I swear to god. So try not, okay, my clumsiness. Try not to puncture the bottom. You have your little cup. If you puncture the bottom, this is amazing. Ready? So there's your little puncture. You take something. This is a magical thing. I don't know when it was invented or who by, but it's magical. You take a piece of tape and you cover the bottom. Where'd the hole go? Oh, wrong one. Super simple. Just make sure you cover the edge, the hole, everything. This stuff doesn't leak very easily, so I wouldn't be really worried about that. It's a very thick, syrupy substance. So, simple as that. So, there's your little cup. And then, your wick that we just made, you are going to cut a little bit off. Doesn't really matter what edge you're lighting on fire. Little inch, and you stick it into your cup. Or you could pour your liquid in and stick it into the cup and wait for it to harden. Doesn't matter if you put the hardened material into a freezer or whatever. So that's it. I'm going to finish making my cups. Like I said, when you're doing the cooking part, make sure there is an adult in the kitchen with you. Or if your parent or guardian says, no, don't do that, let me do it, let them. Don't be like, no, I want to do it, let them. This is a very dangerous thing. I almost got myself burnt last time I did it, so just be careful. So right here, I have my sugar and my potassium nitrate ready to be used. I have 1 cup of sugar and a 1.5 cups of potassium nitrate. Let's get cooking. And this is what all my little molds will look like when I put them on the tin foil that is on the pan. Now, I will put the potassium nitrate and the sugar into the pan to cook up and pour it into and make it into a mixture. And in this picture is the finished product of me pouring all the liquid smoke screens and filters into the tin foil and pan. As you can see, I had a lot left over, and I just put it into little tiny small pools with wicks. And to make sure you don't anger your mother, make sure you clean out the skillet. Use hot water, put it in a mug at a minute in the microwave. Hot water poured on the skillet to dissolve the sugar, so it makes cleaning it easier. The skillet will be very hot, so make sure you put the hot water into it and put it into the sink with the spoon you decide to stir with. Make sure you use a wooden spoon and not a metal spoon.